Good evening and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode in Golden Lap. This is the mid-season review that was promised. So this episode is going to run on a little bit longer. We will still have a race in it. Of course we will. I'm not just going to chat for 30 minutes or whatever. Starting off with the current standings. In the team standings, you can see we are currently sitting in an okay fifth. Not the best. And the reason for that, the reason why we're in an okay fifth, which I'm saying is not the best, is because of the things we're about to discuss. So this will take a while. I'm going to keep it calm. I'm going to just go through all the points and explain the situation. It's not like a dramatic situation. So, a little preface. I recorded the first 5 episodes of the season, as a bulk recording, like together, basically. And in doing so, put myself in a bit of a position where comments were coming in, telling me, giving me advice. And then another episode would upload and it's as if I've completely ignored all the comments. That's not the case. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring. And I will come to that at the end of this little mid-season review and explain, my plan to work on that. And we're going to go into the first part of the review, which is in big capital letters, build new parts. You are screaming at me. You are telling me, build new parts. I'm gonna have to agree. Of course, I've seen all the comments. We're gonna go through them. So from Talon Mort, we've got the crew is good. Cars need upgrades. Engine is 1 generation below the average for this season. And Talon obviously goes into a lot of detail with the numbers, has a spreadsheet, has a whole system. Talon, you are the race engineer in my ears. I'm telling you this now. 100%. The engine is 1 generation below average minimum for this season. So maybe upgrade those first. The $3, the 3 money upgrade button equals bad. In my honest opinion, you should only use that $3 upgrade button as a $3 repair button. The upgrade portion of that, that section is severely outclassed by building new parts. So that's the big capital letters, building new parts. Understood. Talon then goes on in another comment and says, at the end of the video, you're talking about things not quite clicking. I think the majority of that is your engine is far behind the other cars. Acknowledged. 100% acknowledged. Andy Rules then comments in another video. These are the most savvy comments, and I've put them all into my own spreadsheet. This is my review. This is genuinely a review. I've put effort into trying to listen to you guys. Andy Rules says, you got screwed on your experimental car. You're forced to build new engines and steering when you have an engineer with a bonus to chassis. So again, Andy suggests building new engines, building new steering parts. Understood. Vivardi then says, making new parts is the easy way to go. Is the way to go. When reliability goes down, make a new part, upgrade the reliability if needed, but focus on making new parts. And that's where I've been going wrong. Obviously, I've been upgrading my reliability, keeping my cars good and safe on track. And we don't really have DNFs that aren't from driver error. But we have an underperforming car because we haven't been upgrading the parts. So that's what we're going to do. Vivardi then goes on to say, bro, you had some success with the 1-star drivers because you are making improved cars. You are building better parts. Understood. Albert Stebbins also goes in on a comment, quite a funny comment. It says, your parts are akin to brown lumps. There was more to the comment, but that was the fairest point of the whole bunch. Our parts are not good enough. That's what Albert is saying. Understood. All my engineers in the back. You guys, you know what's up. You know what you're talking about. I appreciate every single one of you. Spades Remix. I think with that money in the bank, it's time to get some new parts to try and bring the cars more in line with the monster chassis we have. Huge top speed with 2800 plus, 2800 plus, but engine is just not good enough. It's not getting you up to that top speed quick enough, and the steering to keep it through the turn. So again, chassis is actually good, and that's something I obviously quite realized within episode 2 or 3, saying, oh, when we're tuning, our chassis is strong. We've got good performance on the chassis, but it's the other 2 parts that aren't coming up to it because it is the way. Again, Talon making a really, really good comment again. Right, next up, quali releases from Loku says, I think you need to time your releases for the qualifying a little bit better so your drivers can have an open track and max grip. Always try and time it so your driver starts their flying lap when the quali ends. Generally, that's where the most grip is. You have an open track. Understood. That's obviously something I've spoken about in previous episodes. Trying to time that, it's quite difficult because the AI teams, the computer teams, just decide to release whenever they want. If our car is on the out lap and then is about to go on a flying lap and a car comes out in front of them, there's nothing we can do about that. That is just the game. But we can try and get in the extra quali laps at the end of the sessions, and that's definitely something worth noting. So thank you, Loku, for a good comment. Team orders from Matt C696. I would suggest not using team orders at the start of the race, which is something I have done in the past. So that is a good comment as well, giving me some more advice. Bregman actually had a good start, but lost it twice when he got up to Lupe's gearbox and had to let off because of the team orders. I'm telling him, don't overtake your teammate, and that is slowing him down. So save those team orders for whoever gets in front, whoever's on the faster tyre, whoever is faster. And if the other one is catching up later on, we will deal with it later on. But no team orders at the start of the race until we know which car is kind of the faster car in that race. It makes sense. Thank you, Matt. Now, reliability. Elliot says, you could probably let your reliability drop to around 60%. Cobra then kind of replies to that and says, 65 minimum, probably. I keep trying to get away with 55, 60, and I end up crashing under no stress. I also agree, favoring one driver and ignoring the other driver. So that's actually another point that I'll get to later. It's the best way to earn money at the podium and make sure you get your sponsors. Once you have that money, you can then build a car for the second driver in the next season, potentially. Or, for example, the second half of this season. Double stacking from Muchless. No need to worry about double stacking. It's not actually a feature. Both cars can pit back to back, no delay. I responded saying, I actually enjoy the idea of not double stacking and trying to play that kind of realism in my head. And Muchless did reply saying, yeah, that's fair. If it's for the realism, it's for the enjoyment of the game, that's fair. And it also kind of says you could try using an overcut every now and then. I don't often try that where we stay out, push hard if they pit. Or, obviously the opposite is the undercut where we pit early, come out on fresh tyres, and absolutely try and push a lap or two to gain track position. They then pit on, having been on slower tyres, they come out, but we've got the track position. I don't know if that is something that is going to be overly strong in this game. I would probably reckon overtaking in general seems like a little bit easier on this game, except for the tracks that are deliberately narrow, where it says overtaking is harder on this track. That's probably where the undercut is really strong, where if you track position is everything, as we know, Monaco GP not long ago, track position is everything. George Russell found that out the hard way when he was stuck behind the Williams and decided to cut the chicane and then got penalised for it because he admitted, yep, I cut the chicane, I'll take the penalty. The steward said, we don't like that you deliberately did that, and they penalised him even further for it. So even though I have a bit of sympathy for George on that one, where he says, look, I'll take the penalty, but the problem with that is that if you deliberately break the rules, that is way, way worse than if he went for an overtake, overcooked it, went through the chicane, and then just didn't give up the place. That would give him a time penalty, but track position is more important than the time penalty. So that's why the stewards actually penalised him even further and said, no, we're not letting you do that. And I understand that. Okay, moving on to tuning now. Sorry, I need to finish what we were talking about. Overcut and undercut. Undercut, definitely going to be very, very useful on the narrow tracks. We know that. Monaco, for example, get track position. We could try the overcut a bit more, where we leave the cars out a bit longer. I did actually learn maybe season 2, season 3 that I was pitting too early anyway, because I was getting my tyres down to a certain level and being like, the performance drop-off is going to be so much. But then there was a comment saying, it's actually not that much. The numbers don't really work that way. It's not like, I don't know, other games where your tyres go off a cliff. This one is more of a flat curve, a downward slope rather than a complete crash off a cliff. So that's actually something we learned before this big review and learning curve situation. So yeah, there we go. That's pit strategy and stuff like that. Tuning up next. Hammy Knows says you've got to consider your tuning choice. We did. We figured that out a couple of episodes ago. So I still thank for the comment though. Of course, the comment is still worth it. Still worth it. Namate Yayami says, I think it's a bit harder to get triple goldens with this better engineer because the cap is higher. Definitely. We have struggled in our tuning this season because there's so many more points to try and get. This season is 90, previous was 70, so across the three, that's 60 points more. It can be hard to make that up with half a dozen more points per round, especially if you get a wet track for quali and it's obviously every lap is then taking longer and have less tuning rounds. I still think some choices can be improved. Absolutely. I make errors. Of course I do. Um, look look at focusing on getting 2 golden tunes on the important parts rather than going for the triple every time. Of course, we did figure that out. And then Hitchin Baz actually adds, focus your tuning depending on the track and weather as well. Dry weather focus on speed, acceleration, steering. I can't actually see the rest of that, so 1 second. Now I can. Wet weather, steering, acceleration, speed. So it's the other way around. If it's wet, you want your steering. If it's dry, you want your speed. Long, flowy tracks, acceleration, speed. Handling, slow, tight tracks, handling, acceleration, speed. So acceleration is always in the middle of the bunch, and then speed, steering, stuff like that moves around a little bit. Long flowy tracks, acceleration is actually first. So there we go. I mean, even there, I'm not fully taking in the information. I need to slow down and take the information. It should hopefully allow you to qualify higher and get better performances and hopefully results. So last 2 points, I've been going on for 11 and a half minutes. Yep, that's a lot of chat. The season plan from here. Actually, there's one more thing I want to address, which is Loku left another comment saying, yeah, it's quite frustrating to see everyone give or trying to give constructive criticism and it's just ignored. I actually responded to this comment saying, don't worry, trust me, I'm not ignoring you. I'm absolutely not. Every comment, I read every comment. I've got 749 subs. I'm at no like YouTube size where there's amazing number, like, incredible, outrageous numbers of comments. I can read more or less every comment and reply when I have a reply to give. So believe me, I'm not ignoring you. I recorded a bunch of episodes, which obviously makes it look like I've released episode 1. 2 days later, episode 2 comes out, and there's a day in there where I am reading the comments, and then it looks like I've just ignored them for episode 2. Of course, that's not the case. But this does bring up, a lesson for me, which is if I want to increase the engagement and make sure everybody who is taking the time to comment feels heard, or, it feels like they're in the conversation, I've got to slow down the recording a little bit. I can't go ahead and record 5 episodes, get the comments on those, and then do a mid-season review every single time. And that's absolutely fair. So I've got to slow down the recording, which I will do. I will try actually to make it as accurate as possible. So I'll release an episode. For example, this one is going up tomorrow, and then I will read the comments and then record the day after, and it will go like that. So it'll be release day, recording day, release day, recording day, just like that, giving me time to read the comments before I record the next episode. And that is actually going to be a much, much better way of doing things. It's a very nice problem to have, if I'm being honest. I'm getting comments, I'm getting engagement, but I do not want you to feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm not. Loku, I promise you, I'm not. I mean, hopefully this episode is proof for you. The mid-season review, hopefully this is proof. In fact, what I might do is have this as the mid-season review as an extra episode, and then we can go straight into the race on another episode. That might be a good idea, because then if you want to skip or whatever, although I did say at the start of the episode there will be a race, so I probably can't go back on that. Editing does exist, but I like to record live. So yeah, like I said, it's a very nice problem to have. And if you want to know perhaps how far in advance I have recorded an episode, look at the sub counter. It's right there for you, and then compare that to how many subs my channel says I have at the moment you're watching it. So this is how many subs I've got now, as in right now as I am recording. But if down below in the channel list, like the little channel thing, it says I've got maybe 2 or 3 more, that can tell you that obviously this video was recorded a bit ago. Of course it was anyway, but that's what I mean. You can kind of tell how far in advance I have recorded an episode. For example, there's Bellatra episodes I recorded 2 or 3 months ago that are still making their way out, and they've got like 100 less subs on them, or 150, or however many. And hopefully that does tell you what that should tell you. So that is the mid-season review done. Oh no, it's not. It's not. There's one more thing. The season plan from here. Where do we go from here? Callum Mort, once again, are more or less the voice in my ear, the crew chief behind everything. Build new parts. Steering will give the biggest upgrade at the moment. Callum Mort and boom, it's Giorgio in a comment that I've actually put together. I can see two ways this season can go. One, we push to recover the season and go after Wayland. Of course, you can see they're in 4th place above us. And then Chapman above them on 84. Quite close, obviously. The pro to going for this is we will get extra sponsor money. We'll probably have better picks at the start of next season. But the con is that making up 40 points or so is going to take a lot of cash. We might have to spy, we might have to steal to make up the performance gap, which with the 10-point deduction could leave us in 5th anyway. It will be expensive and we will have less cash for next season. Okay, that's the pros and the cons. Now, number 2, the second way this season can go. We call this season a learning experience and we hold our cash for next season. Pro, if we get our parts sorted, we can hit P8 consistently with these cars and we should be able to build up a good amount of cash for next season. Con, we pick our crew 5th, we miss out on some sponsor money, and it's not as exciting as fighting for 4th. Very true. David Carroll backs that up with, I think, focus on building one car. Sorry, backs that up, adds a different flavor to the conversation. I think focus on building one good car, try for podium, and see if the second car can pick up points. Good luck. Now, here comes the decision. I am the person playing the game, of course. I am the only one who can make the decision and hope that you guys agree or at least can understand why I've made my decision. What we're going to do is we're going to chase 4th and I suppose 3rd. We're going to go all out. We're going to spend the money this season. The reason why is because I would feel like the last 5 races of this season would be a bit boring, a little bit of nothing. If I wasn't going for it, if we were just banking on next season. And I feel like maybe a season ago or even the season before, I kind of had that mindset of, no, let's just save the money or do this or do that, not spend big and just hold our money for next season. We're not going to do that this season. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it because that is the exciting option. Can we make up a good old chunk of points? If we make up one really, really good race and Wayland or Chapman have some DNFs, we're in with a shout. And I would much rather go for it than not, which is something, I've been talking about in my football manager videos, in my cricket captain videos, in a lot of games up to, a couple months ago. I've always had this mindset of play it safe and play the long game. Because that's just kind of like my strategic thinking is always like, no, play the long game. I want to try and change that. I want to experiment. I want to be a bit more risky sometimes. Today is the first step of that in Golden Lap. We are going to go for it. And with that in mind, I'm going to bring my game screen across so I can see it right in front of me. We've got a race at Francis Hollow with a narrow track. So everything is going to be a little bit more difficult. Engine performance is actually going to be even worse. We've got $11. You can see we did build a new part there. It's gone up to 2375. Going to build another new part straight away, not hanging about. 2505 is where it's gone up to. We can only build one part per race weekend. We're at 65 on that part. If we change it, it goes up to 72. We can then give our second driver the slightly better engine over here. We're not going to hit the upgrade buttons, although we just had a comment saying 60%, 65 is probably where you want to be. Do we risk it with Bregman? Oh, I don't know. This is the problem. This is the problem. We're trying to make good decisions. Tristan Lupe, 2659 is his average, 66. I'm sorry, I can't use this engine part with the 100% because the drop in average performance is just far too high. It drops, what, 30 or 40 points in total? I just can't have that. I'll be honest, I just can't have that. 2571, 2525. Tristan Lupe. I mean, it's kind of rough to decide on who gets the better car and whatnot. How are their performances up to this point? Bregman had a DNF, but other than that, Bregman has mostly been... Oh, no, I was going to say outperforming. Not really. Not really. Okay. Lupe is going to have the better car for this race. That reliability on Bregman's engine. I had comments saying, don't let it go below 60. I can't build a new park. They've just done that for Tristan Lupe. We're going to have to risk it. We're going to have to risk it and see if Bregman can make it to the end. Okay. Challenge bonus is golden tune the steering on one of your cars. Okay, we'll certainly give that a go. If we finish 8th and above, we get $3. Race income of 5. 5 plus potential 3 is 8, plus 2 is 10. We could go up to 16 if we have a good session here. Now, this forecast implies that we're going to have partly cloudy. The rain is going to dry out, and we're going to have the opportunity to set a fast lap at the end of this quali. In fact, it doesn't look like it's going to dry out enough, does it? It does not. So it's Inters to start for the lads. Lupe goes out. Bregman goes out. And we go ×2 speed. In fact, we go ×4 speed to get them on their laps. And this is exactly what I mean. Woods is released right in front of us as well. And this is exactly what I mean when it comes to pit releases. Sometimes the AI is going to release their car right in the traffic. And there's just nothing you can do about it. There's just nothing you can do about it. So we're going to have to deal with that. Now, Bregman's gone fastest until Maldonado, Bauer, LaRousse, Moretti have improved on that time. And in they come. Okay, so we're going to focus on trying to tune our steering. And we're going to got to try and look at spending our money in good ways. See, that's a risk. That's a big risk. I'm going to go with this one. And it did. See, that was a waste. That was absolutely a waste. We've got a better option here. And that was 11. That's nice. 9. That's good. We'll spend this one. And we'll save the last point. Okay, now again, we're going to focus on tuning. So 4 and 5, but that's on chassis. We don't need that. 13, that was good. That was bad. Those zeros are not helping. That was 15, however. 0 and a 3 with 1 spent gives us 0. It's really rough. It's really rough. I don't like spending... I don't like spending the money if it says there's a chance of getting nothing back. You know, spending the engineering point, the tuning point. Sometimes I've got to. And it's annoying as heck, honestly. There we go, once again. Frickin' Romano released right in front of our driver. Luckily, we have made it past, but Bregman's time is going to suffer because of that. Being released, Romano just right in front of us when we were on a hot lap. Very frustrating. Not much I can do about it. Look at those zeros. That's what I mean. So we're going to jump up here and try and spend up here instead. Another zero. Oh. The numbers do not like us. The numbers are against us. Mason. Okay, out we go. That's a good one. There we go. That's better. Well, lovely. That's good. And there a 3, followed by yet another 0. We are just... The zeros are burning us up. Okay, at the moment, it looks like Bregman is in absolute acres. He's in loads of space, loads of empty grid space for him to put in a good lap. Now, is someone going to release right in front of him this time? Let's see. No, empty. Good, good, good. Lupe, however, yep, stuck behind Laframboise, putting in white sectors because of that. And Bregman goes up to 6th with a very good drive from him, up to 6th. Can we chase? We've got to try and get points every single race. We've got 5 races. We've made the decision. I've made the decision. I want to try and chase him down. Okay, very nearly got the golden tune on that steering, which is exactly what we're going to do. Out you go. And that's 100. That's the good stuff. Okay, this is a risk, but I'm willing to take it, and it was worth it. Lovely. That time, the numbers were with us. Here we go. It looks like we won't actually reach a point where the track is wet enough for it to be full wet, which is great. We'll just stick on the inters and hopefully keep improving our time. We've dropped to 8, but Bregman is probably going to put in some green sectors here. Yellow flags. That's unfortunate. So we want them to come back in. Fortunately, we haven't set a lap time, which is not great. We need to wait for those yellow flags to go. Let's tune and send them out now. They will obviously drive slowly for the period of the yellow flag. That hopefully does mean once that yellow flag is done. Oh, that might have been early. Yeah, that was early. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get another lap in. It's no bother. Green sectors are coming out across the board now, so you can expect us to be pushed on. 95 on that. Very good. Very good. Okay, the numbers were helping us out this time. Good stuff. And another tune over here. Can't really turn that down, can I? Oh, that was another risk, but it worked out. Okay, send them out, leaving a tiny gap between them. Oh, and look at that. We can block off Laframboise on his flying lap. That's what you get. You blocked me off earlier. I'll block you off now. Then again, if we're the faster car, then we're just giving him a slipstream, which is probably going to boost him. It has boosted him. That's not worked out. It's okay. Let's keep going. Lupe Bregman is now once again stuck behind Romano. They keep releasing their cars in front of me, and it is hurting. Lupe's just gone second with the better car. Lupe has the faster car. We've built the new part. I've learned the lesson, guys. Maybe, just maybe, we are going to see what that does. Oh, the last one gave us a lovely boost. Incredible stuff. Now, are we going to be able to get 2 runs out of this? I am not sure. We will certainly try by sending them out as fast as we can. Let's go, go, go. This episode is already coming up on half an hour, on 30 minutes. And we are yet to even get in the race. Lupe goes with a white sector. White sectors across the board there. It's not what we need. Starting in 6th, however, is going to be very good. Is it? Can we sneak a... I don't think we can. Doesn't look like the track is going to ease up enough. Oh, you are joking. Oh, my word. That is so frustrating. There was, I don't know the percentage of the chance. Basically, the only way we burned that golden tune was by getting a perfect roll on that one, and we did. And it's the one time you don't want it. That is frustrating. There we go. Okay, we've made it up with Bregman. It's still going to be too wet for soft tires. But we will be able to get one last lap done, which is lovely. It means we will get the last possible lap out of our cars with the timer about to tick over. It's just gone to 1 minute remaining. Other cars will get a chance as well, but we're going to hopefully put in a good lap here. Green sector. Green sector. Quality is complete. Green sector. Green sector. Lupe finishes in 6th. Bregman tucks in behind him in 7th. What has happened to the Waylands? LaRousse with a really bad drive. Moretti with a really bad drive. Bauer. The DNF finishes ahead of the April cars, but still down in 14th. Chapman had a lovely race, or a lovely qualifying there, and so did we. This is an opportunity. This is a huge opportunity. If the Waylands have a bad race, we will take points off them. Okay, into the race we go. It's going to be... Oh, okay, it's going to be an odd one because we're going to start on dry tyres and it's going to get wetter. But is it going to get wetter and stay wet? Or is it going to get wetter and then dry out again? So, the forecast is saying it's going to get to... Inters is what? About lap 22? Lap 22, 23? My mediums can just about... You know what? I think we're going to have to go on the hards. Basically, try not to make a stop until it gets to inters. We're going to push at the start. Okay, here's my thinking. We know it's going to get wet. It looks like the inters are going to be coming on about lap 22, maybe 20 to 22, 23. We look at the wet range on there versus the wet range here. That's when it's going to be the crossover into the inters. The mediums are not going to make it there. Even on, regular burn. On conserving, it will. Well, I don't want to be conserving. We want to be trying to push at the start. So we're going to go for the hard tires. Try and make position on a narrow circuit. Extend and extend and extend those tires. And then swap straight to inters at about lap 22, 23, 24, somewhere around there. Okay, let's watch Lupe as we start. 6 and 7 is where we begin. Let's see where we are at the end of lap 1. After one turn, the one corner, we are exactly where we want it to be. No, Moretti has already made up position. Is up into 7th. Bregman drops down to 8th. Now Lupe has Moretti behind him. Lupe, wow, that was a lovely run there. LaRousse of Wayland is the only other driver on the hards. Okay, Bregman just tried to get past Lupe. I'm not sure that's necessary right now on this track where overtakes are difficult. We may... Then again, I say that. Bregman made it past him, which is great. Lupe's now trying to get past him again, but Lupe has the faster car. But on a narrow track, that's probably a little bit less important because overtaking is so much more difficult. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. We've got both cars going. 7 and 8 is where we're running. We've got both Waylands out of the points right now, I might add. Going to go ×2 speed. Moray has crashed. Is that Moray or Morel? I still can't really see that. I'm going to say Morel. That's going to extend our hard tyres and give us more opportunities to push, but then it's going to do the same for the mediums. And well, not really the softs. I do not see the softs making it to the inter part of the pit stops. So that's, even with a yellow flag, I don't see it, unless there's another yellow flag, but that's not something we can predict. That's just whether or not that happens. Yellow flag is about to run out. We're going racing again. Neither of them can focus, so there's no need to push either of them just yet. The Waylands are still out of the points. Lupe is trying to get past Bregman. I think at this point, no, Bregman is in the zone. Let's give him a push and see if he can open the gap. It's 1.4 right now. 1.7, 2.3, 2.5, 2.8. He can open the gap. Okay. That's good. Calm him down because he says he can't focus. And now we've got an Ezzolini in between us who's made a pit stop. Okay, it looks like the Inters will be coming on about 25, 26. It's a bit later than I expected, actually. We was expecting 22, 23. We'll see. Lupe's in the zone. Overtaken Maldonado, who went onto some soft tyres. That's really interesting. Okay, Bregman's still doing quite well out there. 5th and 6th, we are running. If we just keep cars behind us, that's the thing. Lupe's been overtaken there twice, in fact, because they have got better tyres. But they're going to pit stop at the same time as us. We've made a position as things stand. Lupe's in the zone. Let's give him a push and see if he can catch up to Maldonado and Woods as they get on Bregman's tail. Okay. Oh, we like to see that. Laframboise with a slow pit stop puts him down to 16th. He's gone on to the Inters already. Okay, we can actually use that. We can kind of see what's going on there. Bregman's into 5th right now, still holding off those faster cars behind. Very, very good stuff. Bauer and LaRousse are also into the points. They, of course, have not stopped either. Let's slow Bregman down. He's actually caught up to Holgersen because Holgersen has pitted 4 Inters. Does it look like Holgersen is slow? Last lap a 1:26. No, it does not. So the Inters are looking good. Okay, let's give Lupe a push. If you can cut that gap, it's not going to be a lot. Down to 7, down to 6. No, it's actually cutting quite nicely. Track's getting too wet. Okay, let's go for it now then. On to the Inters we go. For both drivers. Knowing that the other cars around us, Woods and Maldonado, they're going to have to pit as well. They're not going in just yet. So we're actually attempting the undercut here by swapping early. Knowing that they're going to pit. Let's see if we can just push one lap. It is exactly how you want to be going for it. One of them has gone in. We still come out behind. Onto the wets. What? Straight onto the wet tyres. For Maldonado. Whoa. And for Woods. They've jumped the gun onto the wet tyres. And last lap, 1:37. What's it going to be this time around? That'll actually tell us what the pace is on those wet tyres. 1:28. So the wet tyres are working as well. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to ask for a swap of position here. Oh, unfortunately, that's let Bauer through. So Bregman made it back. Good. But just stay behind Lupe for now. Lupe has the faster car. Let's tell Lupe to try and build up a gap here. Bregman is just holding the Waylands behind. The gap is 2.7, 3.1, 3.5, 3.9. Lupe is pushing ahead exactly as we want him to. He is the faster car. We knew that. We designed it that way. Lupe's in the zone. They're both in the zone. Okay, that's brilliant. Go for it, guys. Go for it. A red flag might be interesting as well because it would allow us to repair Bregman's car. There's a yellow, in fact. Okay, we've got to pit now. We've got to pit for wets. Is it getting wetter? It's only on the edge. But it's outside into range, so yes. We're going to do it. Oh, this is getting real low here. Can't afford the pit stop. It's going to add a whole 7 seconds. We just can't do that. It's too much. But with everyone going slow here, we actually lose a lot less time by pitting now. And we come out in front of the Waylands. Look at that for Tristan Lupe. Fresh tyres. Comes out in front of the Waylands. And now Bregman behind the Waylands. Also, fresh tyres. But they're going to have to pit at some point. And we're going to shoot off down the road when that happens. In fact, Lupe's already shooting off down the road because I reckon those Waylands need to come in sooner rather than later. Let's see if Bregman... Oh, another yellow. I mean, that means that would give them a cheaper pit stop if they go in. But they're not going in. What is going on? Moretti's had a slow stop. Is that going to affect his race? No, he still comes out in front of everyone. But these yellow flags means that maybe if we'd have stuck on Inters, we would actually get it to the end of the race. Which is a really interesting prospect. However, it won't be the case. We're on the wets right now because... Oh, it's going to dry out, though. It is going to dry out. Yellow flag about to end. We're going to go racing. Let's see if Bregman can get LaRousse. Go for it, lad. Really struggling to get past him. Giving it a good go. Track's drying out. The track is drying out. Lupe thinks Inters. The Waylands probably think Inters as well. Is it Inters yet? Not yet. It's not Inters yet. Okay, I'm checking Lupe. Still not Inters yet. But they are good. Okay, other teams are making that change. So I'm going to make that change now. And really try and make sure... Oh, it says it's not Inters yet, though. No, we've got to go for it. We've got to just go for it and try and make sure we come out ahead of the Waylands. They're coming in as well. That was the time to come in then. Keep those cars behind us. Okay. 15 laps on the Inters. And it's a straight race against the Waylands. Can we finish above them? That's it. That's all we're thinking about. That is all we are worried about. So, it's Lupe versus Bauer. It's Bregman trying to catch up to LaRousse. Let's burn it all the way to the end now because we can. And Lupe is trying to hold off Bauer. Lupe's in the zone. That's good. The gap is nothing. The gap is 1.7. Bregman on a 5-second difference. Got to calm him down. Having to pass these lapped cars is the problem here. Bregman can't focus. What's the gap? 6.8. He's in the zone again. Okay, give it a push. Try and build the gap. It's 1.2. 1.7. 1.9. Good. So we do have a little bit in the bank. We can push Lupe periodically to try and keep Bauer behind us. At this moment in time, the Waylands have run a 2-stop while we've run a 3-stop. That extra pit stop time means that they have made up a lovely kind of run, a lovely amount of time, a lovely couple of positions. Okay, the gap is 4.4 to LaRousse now. We're still burning our engine. If Bregman, he might burn all the way out. Look, we've got 6 laps to hope that Bregman can bring it home. If he gets past LaRousse, we will actually have to calm that down. He's on him right now. He is literally 1.1 behind. And Lupe's built a gap to Bauer as well. Come on, just make one overtake. Go on, Bregman. Here we go. This is the lap. This is the lap. Can't get past him. Keep going. Keep giving it a go. There it is. There he goes. There he's gone. He's into 9th. Well done, Bregman. Can we keep him behind? No, he's lost that position. Okay, look, we're going to have to push to the end here because Bregman lost 3 seconds in the space of not long at all. Going to have to push and burn and try and get that back. We've only got a lap and a bit to do it. Go on, Bregman. It would be one heck of an overtake. Let's watch him. Let's watch him. He's got to give it now. He's got to go. I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, it was so close. It was so close. Bregman did make the overtake and then lost it. Lupe takes 6 points. Bregman takes 1 point. We have made up 1 point on Wayland. The Chapmans have had they had a pretty good race. They've kind of solidified themselves in that 3rd place. We need the Waylands to have more trouble than they had in that one there. The gap is 45. 45. It's quite significant. It's quite a lot. My word. And we have got $16 to our name. We're at another race. Another narrow race. Oh no, this is a wide race. It's the opposite. It's a mainstay. Almost always appears on the calendar. Whereas Monaco does appear no matter what. But it is a tough track. It's a dangerous track. Okay. So, we're not going to build any parts now. I'm going to wait until I read the comments, as I said at the earlier part of the video. And then when I record, I'll have your comments with me. And we'll go into the next race as a team. That's what it's about. Thank you for watching, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It was a longer one. We've done the review. We've hopefully taken a lot of it on board. I really have tried. That race could have been better. The Waylands did not have a great quali, but they did have a better race. And it does mean that we still gained a point on them, which shows that we can beat them, but we are really playing catch up now. We're still going to give it a go. I know one of the options was to play it safe, but I want to give it a go. We don't risk it. What's the point? Okay, thank you for watching, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed, and I shall catch you next time.